Alright guys, I was going to try to finish off all the signs and individuals earlier, but I did Leo and was going through the fire signs. So I got Leo done, and then by the time I was going to pick up the next cards, because I shuffled them all out and let Spirit pick them all, and I put them with each card. But by the time I got to Sagittarius, I lost my voice. Like, I was like, I've only done 2-minute reading and I lost my voice. Anyways, I don't know if that has to do with Saggy or not. I don't know, Saggy, if you need to speak on something, I don't know. But this was not fun. Anyway, Sagittarius, your card for this week is your home is protected by angels. Archangel Michael, thank you for watching over my home and all its inhabitants. I ask that you post guardian angels at each window and door, ensure its security. Thank you for guiding my finances so that I can easily afford to pay my rent, mortgage, or taxes. So, Sagittarius, I don't know if you're stressed out over money. I don't know if you're stressed out over losing a job or losing your house or something like this. This is Spirit telling you, if you pray and you ask, they're going to be there. They're going to help you find ways to do what you need to do. So if bad things have happened, just trust that you'll make it. Like, the money will come some ways, but just don't go into that lack mindset. If you need to speak up, speak up. As long as you're not hurting people on purpose, then speak your truth. I don't know what that has to do with guarding and protecting your house. Maybe someone's wanting to, I don't know, maybe something's going on inside your house that you're not speaking up about. I'm not sure. Everybody's situation is going to be different because this is just an all-over collective. But I hope that helps. Spirit's letting you know you'll be okay. Do not worry. Have trust and faith. Spirit will protect you. Alright, Aries, your card for this week. Explore your options. Dear God, thank you for your wisdom and love. Help me see, understand, and assess all of my alternative options. Please guide me in the best direction for my health, happiness, and life's purpose. And this can be anything, because this season is putting a lot of people into we're losing a lot of people in our lives, ones that aren't real friends. And this is Spirit telling you, just because if you lose one thing, you're going to have other options. You're going to have other people there. When you lose one, you're going to have an open space there for Spirit to send someone else in. Or if it's a job, if you lose one, another one will be opened up to you. It's that opening. You have to set one thing down so you can pick up another. Like, I wouldn't right now pick up this burning candle and carry like a big box full or a whole box full of books, because it wouldn't be logical, because one, I would be afraid I would either burn myself or something. So sometimes in this world you have to set one thing down and so you can pick up another. And this is Spirit telling you, you have multiple options in whatever situation you're going through this week. So don't stress out about it. Just look and see what you feel fits you for who you are and what you need going forward. Alright, Aries, I hope this helps. Alright, now we are finally to, what's this, water signs? Air signs? Maybe I'm supposed to do water signs first, I don't know. But we're going with air signs. Gemini. God is in charge. Dear God, please help me let go of this situation, giving it in faith and trust to your divine wisdom and infinite love in order to resolve and heal everything and everyone involved. Alright, Gemini, this is kind of like saying you're finally going to let go and let God. Now, when you say a lot of times when people think you're going to let something go, that does not mean that you have to just throw the person away. A lot of times you have to let go from controlling the situation, you know, or let go of an expectation of an outcome of a specific situation, you know, and that's where you find, you know, your trust. That's how you prove that you trust God, by letting go of controlling it and just letting it be, being in the now and being present and just being at peace, by saying, I want this, and then just doing what you're supposed to do, and then let God take over the rest. Yours is pretty straightforward, Gemini. Yeah, I think that's all I got. That's all I'm hearing for that one. Libra, your card for this week. Keep your eyes on your targeted intention. My prayer. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for helping me focus on my inner vision and intention. I ask for your guidance in releasing any fears or doubts, granting me the confidence and courage to take action towards realizing my dreams. Libra, this is kind of like saying, Spirit's trying to say, make sure if things get hard that you don't want to change your focus, or if you're not seeing results, that you're not just going to want to give up, or don't let the things that are surrounding you be the reason why you give up on what it is that you want or you need on the inside. Because remember, you know, a hole in the boat doesn't sink, or a hole in a boat doesn't sink it. It's when we let the water in to the boat. As in, you know, if we have a hole and we're broken, you know, that doesn't completely tear us apart. But when we let other people's words or other people's harshness or the negative opinions of others come inside, it can distract us from what our purpose is or what it is that we want. You know, even if it's something as simple as someone constantly saying to you, you know, this isn't good, or you shouldn't do this. Well, Libra, if you feel in your soul that you are supposed to do something, don't listen to the opinions of others. Figure out who you are, figure out what you want, and then go for it. Don't let their fears project so hard on you that it comes in, and now you take on this fear, and then you let their fear sink you. You have to know yourself. You have to not care what other people think. You have to know yourself, what you want and what you're capable of. And my throat is hurting again. What the hell? Sagittarius and Libra, you are killing me. Okay, you have to know you. And release the fears. When you release the fears, that's when you can get into the faith and the trust. You trust in God. You know, He's not going to lead you somewhere where He can't protect you. Just remember that. And always remember, you are good enough. Don't let any kind of fear just take over and make you feel like you're not worthy of your dreams, because you are. If you can dream it, you can be it. As lame as that sounds, that's what I'm hearing right now. It's not really lame. It's, you know, it's actually very smart and very logical. Sometimes we let our fears stop us, because if you believe you can or you believe you can't, you are always 100% right. Because if you believe you can't, you're not going to put the work in. But if you believe you can, you're actually going to put the work in and make it happen. That's the difference. All right, Libra, that's what I got for you for this week. Aquarius, you are on the right path. Archangel Michael, I call upon you now. Thank you for giving me loud and clear guidance that I easily understand. Thank you for motivating me and fulfilling me with the courage and confidence to make healthy life changes. Aquarius, there's really nothing I can say about this. This is literally just you being on the right path. The only thing that I see going forward for the next week is not to forget to give gratitude. You know, once we get on this path and we know where we're supposed to go, it's always good to be grateful, and it's good to give back and help others along the way. Just don't let them pull you back down. Okay, so go on your path. You know what you got to do. You're on the right way. You're listening to the divine. And this is for the Aquarius who are listening to the divine. If you're not listening to the divine, this is probably not your card. So yeah, and make sure whenever you're asking Spirit of things that you're asking specifically. I mean, obviously you're doing that because it says you're on the right path. Yeah, I don't really have a whole lot for you this week, Aquarius. That's all I'm getting. But I hope this helped. All right, Pisces. Write about your thoughts and feelings. Thank you for helping me to tap into my God-given creativity and wisdom so I clearly express myself and glean insight, blessings, and healings. Okay, so this is like if you need to journal, which alright, this is going to make me sound really stupid, but I'm going to go ahead and say it anyways. Oh, sometimes you have things inside of you, especially if you are prone to being a writer or things. You have these thoughts that you need to get out, whichever way you need to do it, you know. I at one point used to write in my journal to my twin, and then I remember one day I ran out. I couldn't find my book, and so I ended up just sending a text. Well, my number was blocked at one point, and obviously it probably still is, but what I would do is I would just write a text, and it would be like me speaking to him, but me speaking to me. And it gave me that feeling of I'm getting out these emotions and these things that I need to say, and I'm allowing myself to feel and to process how I feel, whether it's good or whether it's bad. You know, he wasn't going to get the message, so it really didn't matter, but it was a place where I felt like I could say how I felt, you know, good or bad. And that helped me through a lot. Like, but this is kind of like saying, if you have something to say, if you have something to speak, whether you could have a book you're supposed to write, you could have something that you're supposed to create, something that is supposed to come out of you at this time, Spirit is saying, do it. You know, it doesn't matter what other people think. It doesn't matter what other people feel or anything like that. Just, you need to put you into whatever it is that's going on, whether it's sending a text to a blocked message, or sending a message to a blocked number, or writing it in a journal book, or, you know, actually writing a book. However it is, this is you needing to express yourself. You know, some people could write, some people express themselves through dance, some people express themselves through songs, you know. Whatever way it is that you get this out of you, because you don't want to hold stuff in, because when you hold your feelings in, it makes them stronger and it makes them bigger. Kind of like that. Okay, like the psychological fact. People who try to, there are only two things that you can't hide in this world. One is a lie and one is love. When you try to hide these two things, they grow bigger. Both of them. If you love someone and you try to hide it, even you try to hide it from yourself, you literally are going to make it 1,000 times bigger, because you are giving the energy to that, you know. So get it out, you know. If you have something to express, express it. You know, that is the number one form of self-love, which is allowing yourself to feel what you feel, good or bad. You know, whether you want to bitch someone out, or you know, whether someone calls you a bitch, or whether you want to be open and loving. You know, who fucking gives a shit? Like, it's still you. That's you being your true authentic self. That's you either not accepting shit that you know you didn't deserve, or standing up for yourself to to say, I am worth more than this, because I know by myself, because I finally know my worth. And this is you needing to express yourself in whichever form. And I don't even know why I came out as that. But, and my throat's again. But maybe you also are one of the ones that's having a hard time speaking. Maybe you're afraid to speak your truth. Maybe you're afraid you're going to hurt someone's feelings. I don't know. But what I do know is that if you have a truth to speak, speak it. Speak it. Whatever the outcome is, whatever the outcome is. But it does nothing. It does no good whatsoever to hold it in. And I don't have a lot of Pisces placements. You know, I'm a Virgo, so it's automatically my midheaven. And that's where I get my being tapped into spirit, my Pisces midheaven. But especially right now, we're, you know, with all the stuff with Pisces. But if you need to express something, express it. Don't live in a fear where you're afraid to be your true authentic self. Because a lot of people think, you know, that it's wrong to speak or say certain things. But I'll tell you right now, I think the opposite. I think it is wrong, and it like, unless you're seriously purposely trying to hurt someone, then speak it, because it's who you are. And to hold it back would be to suppress yourself. And to do that, you're going to cause so many boundaries and so many walls around you that no one can get to learn the real, true you. By holding you in, you are not giving anybody the chance to learn, the chance to love the real you. They're just going to fall in love with the mask. And then, just like the catch and release that I call it, you know, when you go to open up, you know, if you don't get along with people when you're your true authentic self, it's because you spent the whole time being afraid to be who you truly were. Alright, so sorry Pisces, I did not mean to go on a tangent on yours. Everybody else has just been pretty clean cut, but if you think it, Pisces, allow yourself to feel it and allow yourself to express it. That is one of the greatest forms of self-love that we could have. Scorpio. Focus on divine and perfect health. God and Archangel Michael, thank you for continually reminding me to focus upon perfect health and for guiding my actions so that they support my well-being. I am hearing pineapples, which is totally my safe word in like MMA and stuff like that. But but I'm hearing pineapples. So pineapples are actually really, really good for your body, especially if, Scorpio, if you're by any chance a female, like it helps in a lot of different things. That and water, like, and if you're a lady, you know, it affects your lady parts too. Like, it will do very good things for your lady parts. So some of you guys are definitely needing pineapples, but the rest of you guys, I'm hearing you guys need to drink some water. And be careful so you don't cut yourself. I keep seeing blood. So just be careful. Make sure you don't like cut yourself shaving, or I don't know. Just be careful. I'm also hearing some of you guys may need to go to the doctor. Oh my gosh. I literally just heard shine a light up your butthole. What the crap? Sorry, my spirit guides are kind of funny, but like some of you guys, if you are feeling any kind of way, you guys may need to have your insides checked, or just, I don't know, just, you will know that's not for everybody. That's for some people. A lot of you are just going to need to start drinking water. One, because it's starting to get hotter again and you're going to get dehydrated. If you're starting to feel really bad headaches, or if your lower back is starting to hurt, then that's usually a sign that you're dehydrated. Amongst, like, having Hershey squirts, or, you know, just feeling sick, that those are a lot of the signs of being dehydrated. So definitely drink water, possible pineapples. I mean, you can always incorporate pineapples either way, you know, unless you're allergic to them, then please don't do that, because then you will have to go to the doctor. But if you feel like something's wrong, this is spirit just saying, listen to your body, find what it needs. You know, some of you guys may just need multivitamins. I'm hearing some of you guys need to listen to music and chill the fuck out. Maybe that's how some of you guys relax. You listen to music, and so it calms, because that is another form of your health. When you are so stressed out, it will physically do stuff to your body. So some of you guys need to just, whichever way helps you release tension, whether you are soaking in a bubble bath, like listening to calming music, or you're driving and you're listening to hardcore death metal, or something, whatever it is that you do that helps you release it, you know, or listen to heavy, hard-hitting music while you're working out. That's another one. That always helped me. To release a lot of my frustration and stuff. So anyways, that's what I got for you, Scorpio. Alright, Cancer. What spirit has for you? Energy healing work. Thank you for sending healing energy to me and through me, for my own blessing and for all those around me. Thank you for connecting me to loving and high integrity healers and teachers of energy healing modalities. Okay, so this is you needing to find your soul tribe. Okay, this is for the ones who can show you the way. And for needing to make sure you're on the right path to give the right advice to others, to be a light instead of the darkness. This is saying, make sure when you give advice to others, if you are a light worker, that you are giving this advice coming from a healed space and not a broken space. Because if you are giving advice from a broken space, you're going to give people advice that will follow in the broken mentality. So make sure that you are doing your healing work, because I'm going to tell you right now, if you're a light worker and you by any chance think that you know everything, or you by any chance think that no one can teach you something, or that you have done all the healing that you need to do and that you're good and you don't need more healing, you're wrong. That's your ego talking, and that is that is, as I said the other day, you know, a prerequisite for a dark night of the soul to fall upon your ass. Is that you never want to get into the, I'm healed, I don't need anything, I don't need to learn anything new, I know everything and no one else can show me or teach me anything. Well, that's wrong. You can learn something good from every single person that you meet. And just like a king can always learn something from a fool, because, you know, they're going to be able to see life from their eyes, from a different perspective. So the king will always be able to learn a lot from all of the people around him. And this is you saying you need to find people that you can show the way to get to where you are. And then you need to find people that are above you and can take you further in the light. Kind of like, you know, a train where, or, okay, like I'm picturing like a tunnel, and there's light at the end of the tunnel. And I'm seeing like a big line of people that can't see in the darkness, but someone at the very end can. So they reach their hand back and they grab the next one, and then that one grabs the next one, and then that one grabs the next one, and it's a line to lead people all the way out of this darkness that they're in. Like we have a soul tribe that can reach back and grab for us, you know, and help us when we're the one at the very end of it and we can't see the light at all. And a lot of times it's the fool who's already went through, like a dumbass, who is not afraid of shit, you know? Like, and a lot of times, you know, as this quote always says, don't tell someone not to do something, because God could have been waiting that long for someone stupid enough to try that very thing, you know? So don't tell someone not to do something if it's actually going to possibly be in their well-being. Let them go, you know, as long as it's not going to hurt them and not going to hurt others. Let them go, because they could be the one that is the one that ends up reaching back at the same time. You know, the ones that you think doesn't know, there's a possibility there could be someone that you think doesn't know anything, but then they're the ones who's going to have to reach back to help you out. So make sure you find your tribe, and make sure you incorporate everybody. You know, you don't leave no one out. You don't push no one away because of anything like that. And sometimes I'm going to tell you, that shit gets hard. That shit can sometimes get hard, because sometimes people can be so draining, like so draining, that it physically and mentally and emotionally drains you. And that's hard. And even though you know that those people won't be there forever, sometimes it's hard. And sometimes that person, you have to show that person they need to find other people too, and not just you. You can't do everything yourself. They have to be able to be willing to put the work in themselves. But you still need to be the ones to show them the way out. Or at this time, you could be needing to find a whole collective of people to help you find the way out. Because you can get with one person who's in your soul tribe, and they do something one way, but it doesn't fit your style of doing something. You know, kind of like 1 + 7 = 8, but so does 4 + 4. So if you're a 7 and you just need 1 to make 8, or if you're a 4 and you just need 4 to make 8, it doesn't matter. People do things different ways, but you just need to find people that fit, that can help you in this specific way that you need to go. So it's pretty much just saying, you know, helping me connect to the people that are on the higher frequency to help me level up. Because it looks like, Cancer, you might be at the time where it is about time for you to level up, but you have a lot to learn, and you got to make sure to stay out of your ego. to love both sides of the equation, the ones who are higher above and the ones you feel are below you. And you shouldn't really think anybody's below you. That could still be something that you need to heal as well too. Because remember, a lot of times they say that if the divine feminine will awaken first, and the divine masculine, whoever embodies the divine masculine energy at that time or whatever, they might awaken second to the journey. But usually the divine masculine will end up far surpassing the divine feminine, because it's kind of like, okay, it's kind of like Talladega Nights when Will Ferrell's like shake and bake. You know, where they do that thing where one of them slings the other one farther ahead. You know, we all have somebody we need to sling ahead, and we all have somebody who's going to sling us ahead. But either way, find your shake and bake buddy, I guess. I don't know. Shit. Virgo, let go of fear now. Archangel Michael, please help me feel safe and deserving of your guidance. Thank you for clearing me of heavy, toxic, and ego-based thoughts or feelings. Okay, yeah, so I'm going to give you an example. I had this dream, and I'm a Virgo, so this is why I'm going to tell you this. I had this dream, and I was intimate with somebody, and I was afraid to take my clothes off in the dream, and they were telling me, take your clothes off. And when I did, like, they ran away, and I was like, what the fuck? I was like, damn, if that wasn't like a shot to my ego, and if that didn't bring up the insecurities. And this is like, to me, it's saying the insecurities or the fears for anything. So as a Virgo, a lot of times we've been hurt a lot, because we are the sign of the givers, you know, the nurturers. And a lot of times we have not been nurtured back in the same way. A lot of times when we nurture so many people and we put ourselves in, you know, we make other people more important than us. Remember, we teach people how to treat us by the way that we allow it. If we put everybody else above us and before us, saying that, you know, we're going to make them a priority, we're teaching people we're second, and we're okay with being a back burner. And so when we get to that point where we've gave so much, we automatically think somebody else is going to match our energy, and they're going to put in the same exact amount of love, attention, time, whatever, you know, whatever the thing is, you know. And that's a big thing for Virgo, because we hold everybody to high standards because we see so much more in everybody, you know. I mean, of course, we don't see a whole lot in people that we think are complete dumbasses, but there's some people that come into our life and we see the greatness that they hold inside of them, and we hold them to that standard. And especially if you've been raised by parents that kind of expected perfection, you know, like, then we kind of push others to be what they can be, because we see so much more in them. And it's not, I mean, it can be a toxic trait. It just depends on how it's taken. But anyway, anyways, like, we still have this, like, oh my gosh, I just lost my train of thought in the middle of my sentence. Okay, so we sometimes will have this fear of being vulnerable because we've been through all these situations where we've gave, and then we ended up getting put on the back burner and treated less than, or ghosted, or made to feel like we were less than other people, unworthy of someone's time when someone else got it, you know. It's it sets this fear into us. Like, especially if you've got cheated on, then you fear even loving at all. And, or, I mean, on the opposite tide too, if it's like a job, if you've been busting your ass and busting your ass and busting your ass, and you're getting nowhere and you want to give up, that is still a fear. That's still a mindset of fear. Once you've done something for so long and you don't see the results, you kind of start getting into this point of not having patience and a little bit of fearing that your wishes and your desires and your dreams aren't going to come true. But this is Spirit telling you to clear that. If it's meant to be, it'll be. If something makes you happy, do it. If, I don't know, like in my head, I keep imagining like Spirit telling someone, being like the little lobster and the little fish in The Little Mermaid, where they're telling the guy to kiss, they're singing Kiss the Girl. And it would be like Virgo would be the guy that would be way too afraid to kiss the girl because they're in the fear mindset. But don't be afraid, take the chance, even if it's the fear of speaking your mind. Well, Virgos usually hold back a lot because we're so blunt and we're so truthful at times that we have the ability to cut people when we're not meaning to. And so this is, for some reason for the next week, this is telling you, don't fear anything. If it feels right, do it. Allow yourself, to be your true, authentic you. And I'm hearing this very, very strongly. If you are one of the Virgos that has a lot of childhood trauma, like enmeshment trauma, or, if you have a lot of the codependencies or whatever, this is Spirit telling you need to let go of the fear of, okay, so these sort of, when you have trauma, it creates a personality trait inside of you that is a coping mechanism from this childhood trait that had occurred while you were younger. So say if you grew up in a household where one adult was the only person who was allowed to get their way. Say if you had a very dominating father or mother, whatever they say goes, and no one else is allowed to speak what they think. No one else is allowed to have what they want. It always goes towards whatever that one person wants. That is going to create a trauma response from that, which is a trauma of fear. Okay? And what that fear is that has come out in you is the fear of being an individual. Because you've grown up in a part where you weren't allowed to be individual. You weren't allowed to speak what you want. You weren't allowed to be your own person. You had to adapt to who this other person wanted you to be. So when you get older and you get into these relationships, what that causes you to do is it causes you to blobfish into your partner. And that's how I explain it. You blobfish. This is like when the one fish finds their mate and they blop onto this other fish, and the two fish then literally enmesh into one fish, and then they become one fish. And that's what it kind of does. It kind of like you absorb your partner and you become everything that your partner wants in you. You become everything that your partner desires you to be, because you have this trauma response to feeling like one person is supposed to get their way. Now, when you step into your healing, you're going to trigger and go the complete opposite way. And you're going to be like, fuck this. I want to be able to be me for the first time. I don't want this mask. I don't want to be what somebody else wants. I want to be me. And the best thing in that times is to be by yourself for a little while, so you find out who you are. And then when you go into a relationship, you already know who you are. So you don't have to have that fear of going in and just instantly losing yourself because you became the other person. You then know that this person that you love loves you for you and not for your trauma that has you blobfish into them, you know. And you can find people that complement you instead of trying to find someone to complete you. Because literally the blobfish, like, they enmesh into literally one body, and so much so that they end up like, you know, like absorbing everything. They like veins and everything, you know. So this is saying, if you are fearing this is Spirit telling you this week will be the time for you to figure out who you are. Don't fear finding who you are. Well, I mean, sometimes it is. I'm going to tell you, I had to go through it a long time ago too. Like, after I got out of my marriage, I was married for 11 years, and we got divorced in 2011. And so it was hard for me because I felt like I had to learn who I was all over again. Well, actually, that ended up happening long before the divorce, but, you know, and so now some people, I'm hearing some Virgos, you guys are stepping to the part where now your kids are leaving or they're grown, and you've been so used to blob fishing with even your kids because kids need so much. Now you're having to find out who you are all over again. This is Spirit saying, don't fear it. Enjoy it. Embrace it. Like, embrace the unknown. A lot of people fear what's ahead of them and what they don't know, but this is Spirit saying, don't fear it. Go into the unknown. You know, go and venture, because, you know, everybody is getting a life, is given one life, but not everybody lives during it. And this is Spirit saying, live. Find who you are. Find what you like to do. Find what you like, you want to become, and be it. You know, set things in motion. If you try it and it fails, so what? What do you lose? Well, I mean, unless you invested like $4 billion, but that's just crazy. Like, find something a little bit, you know, that was within your budget or whatever, but don't fear it. You know, go, do, be, live, be happy, be in the now, get out of your head. Because I'm still looking here, you know, this is needing to open up and listen to your intuition. When you fear, you can stop that fear by going into your intuition. And I don't know why this sword is facing down in this card, but this is Spirit saying, do it. Because when the swords are down in the tarot deck, it means this decision is final. This decision is final. This situation is final, or something is final. Now it's time to go where you're supposed to go. This could be, you know, some of you guys could be giving up people in your life, and it's going to be a final thing, and you have to be okay with that. So if some of you guys are going through divorce, no, there is life on the other side. I can tell you that right now. Like, you can make it. If I can do it, anybody can do it. Shit. Okay, Virgo, I've spent so much time on your part. And I think that's all that I hear. But just remember, you deserve so much more than any Virgo has in their head that they deserve. Just remember that and go forward believing that you deserve it. And just do what you can do and know that that God will come in and fill the rest. If it's your purpose. You'll know. Alright. Taurus, or Virgo, I hope that helped. Taurus. Go forward fearlessly. Alright. Taurus, just go back and listen to everything I just said for Virgo. Thank you for walking with me every step of the way, for holding my hand, giving me confidence and courage, and guiding my thoughts and actions in the direction of love and my true life's purpose. Okay, this is literally the exact same thing that I've just said for Virgo. Virgo was a really long one, so if you can just rewind back, listen to, it's going to be the same thing for both of you guys. Maybe you guys have strong Taurus and strong Virgo in your chart. This is someone who is needing to let go of something or someone and to step out and to go into their actual purpose. This could be, I'm hearing someone could be holding on to someone, Taurus, I don't know if you're holding on to someone who's a false twin or someone who you thought was supposed to be very strong in your life. And you're going to have to let go, and you could be afraid of that because when we step on our true life's purpose path, it is kind of scary. I love Taurus energy. I mean, we're getting ready to come out on your time, so hopefully you guys aren't losing someone right before your birthdays, but trying to hear. One of my best friends is a Taurus. I have no Taurus in my chart at all. Like, zero. None. Like, in any of my top big part of my chart. But Taurus is so fun. You guys are always laid back and calm and collected and just chill. And I always use you guys as, like, the remark of, you know, when I think of Taurus, I think of, you know, someone laying on their bed eating gummy worms. Because that's what I think of one of my best friends. But, you know, a lot of times we will become complacent and know that it's easy and it's calm and it's peaceful on our bed eating our gummy worms. But this is Spirit saying, go forward. And just because something ends, it doesn't mean that there's not something better for you. If by any chance you had a false twin, and I'm assuming this is someone who has both Taurus and Virgo in their chart. If you by any chance had a false twin in your energy, it's going to be hard to let them go. But Spirit's saying, don't forget, you may have just seen the divine energy in that person. Okay, so the way it was explained to me is that a lot of times the reason why a twin will be drawn to another, like a divine masculine will be drawn to a divine feminine, and it doesn't have to be their true twin. It can be their false twin. They're not seeing themselves in this other person. They are seeing the divine energy of the divine feminine or whatever. And they recognize that because what that is the ultimate unconditional love. And so that's what you're attracted to. I don't know where that paused or where that stopped, but this, I'm just going to restart here. Okay, Taurus, the true twin will be the one who triggers you and it causes a transformation. It'll cause you to want to transform when you see that thing inside of you, yourself. Like, if someone is acting in the fear mindset, and if your twin's acting that way, it should trigger that in the other twin, and it should come out, whether you guys are talking, whether you guys are blocked, or anything like that, you know. But one twin will mirror to the other what they need to heal. If you're not triggering that in your counterpart, then there is a possibility this wasn't your true twin. And so if this is the case, go forward and step out fiercely, because you have something greater waiting for you. But if they trigger you, and then eventually you realize what it is that you've done, because remember, you have to do your part too, which is be accountable for your part of the fuck ups or your part of the mistakes, so that you can change the outcome too, because people trigger you to help you transform. But oh my gosh, this is the second time I've lost my train of thought. Maybe you don't know what to think right now, or you're confused, Taurus. But Spirit's telling you, they're guiding you on the path. I don't know if this is... I can't tell if you've met your twin from this or not. I'm trying to pick up the energy, but I'm not sure. I don't know if this is the twin or whether it's not. I don't know. But you will know if your thoughts keep going towards that person. Because it even says here, in guiding my thoughts and actions in the directions of love and my true life's purpose. If you're not sure, if you're afraid, look where Spirit guides you when you meditate. Look where Spirit guides you when you think about true love. And then follow that. If you're following love, then you're following love. As long as you don't have like 15 people in your energy that you're trying to talk to at one time, you know. When I met my twin, I had a friend who I had liked at one point, but we became just friends, and my cards kept reading this person. My energy kept reading this person, and I was like, this can't happen, like, and so I was like, maybe they haven't had closure on their side. And so I remember the day I knew that I would see this person because I worked with them, and I chose my twin. I told my twin, I choose you. And it was the first time, like 2 months or something like that, I'd seen him. And so I went to that person, and I straight up was like, look, you know, I was like, I put everything to rest. Sometimes we leave something open, and a draft can get in, I guess, so to speak, and we have to make sure that door is closed completely. It doesn't mean you got to throw the person away. It doesn't mean anything like that, but the door still needs to be closed to make sure that nothing comes through to affect your energy with your true person. And that could be something that's going on, but make sure that you've closed all the other doors. So when you go to ask Spirit, is this my person? You're going to only pull that person's energy, and only that person's energy, not the 57 other people that you dated or you liked or whatever, you know, whether you were sleeping with them or not. Because I mean, like, I wasn't intimate with this person. I wasn't anything, but there was just still a small cord attached, and I still went to them. And I mean, I kind of did the wrong thing, because I kind of pushed this person completely away, even as friends. And when me and my twin stopped talking, that made me feel guilty, and I felt like I did something wrong by choosing that. And I was like, well, I pushed everybody away for my twin, and I didn't even wait to see if they were going to treat me the same and put me as a priority as well. And so that was kind of on me. I mean, them too, because they, whatever. We're not, I'm not gonna, I don't like pointing fingers at my twin, because your twin still shows you the things that you need to learn, the things that you need to do, the things that you yourself need to transform. Like, and that's how I knew he was my twin, because he triggered me like crazy, and he triggered me whether he was in my life or whether he was gone. And yeah, so take the action, Taurus, whatever way you feel, but make sure you know what you want. You don't have to know where you're supposed to go, because God will lead you where you're supposed to go. You just have to be open enough to be guided towards it. You have to be, you have to have, I'm hearing you have to have your heart chakra open, because if you try to call love in, if you're not open for love, there would be no point, because you won't feel it. You'll just be numb. And then there will be this whole person here who is wanting to give all this love and is giving all this love, but you don't feel it because you're closed off to it. And that could do with past hurts and trauma from dating people that did you wrong, or I just heard people you did wrong. Maybe you hurt someone, Taurus. This is not going to be for everybody, but there are some Tauruses I'm hearing hurt somebody else, and now they have a fear that everybody else is going to do them the same way. Kind of like the saying how a cheater is the one who actually loses in any relationship going forward, because even if that person takes them back, they are then going to be afraid that that person is going to do to them what they did to them in the past. So it's going to be the person who does wrong who is the one that lives with the consequence of it. So if you've done wrong, then you're going to need to forgive yourself and make it right. And this could be someone who's afraid to speak to someone, because again, speak to someone and tell them the wrongs that they've done and put that to rest, you know, and find the forgiveness. Because a lot of times when our soul doesn't seem right, it's just because we've left the window open and a draft is coming in from our past, and it's the pain and it's the guilt that we feel for doing someone wrong that we may not have even noticed we did wrong until long after. But either way, I hope this helps, Taurus. And yeah, just have faith that everything will work out right. Because you got... Alright, and our last sign, Capricorn. Self-respect. Dear God and angels, thank you for helping me see myself as you see me, through the eyes of love. Thank you for honoring and respecting me. Please guide me to do the same for myself and grant me the courage to speak up on my own behalf. I ask for your protection in all of my relationships so that I am surrounded by loving and kind people. Capricorn. You need to know your worth. You need to find who you are, and you need to surround yourself with people who see your worth, so that when you don't see your worth or you don't feel your worth, other people can remind you of it. This to me right here looked like a snake. So this could be a time of transformation for you, where you need to be rebirthed into the person that you are supposed to be. But to do that, you must level up, and to do that, you must go in self and find out who you are, what you want, what you believe, what kind of things it is that you want to set in motion, and then speak your truth. and set forth this path before yourself. Capricorns, you guys are great at that shit. If you guys have something that you set out that you want to do or that you want to accomplish, it's just like, you guys are the, I always think of Capricorns as like the drone bees or the worker bees, because you guys will have something to do and you guys will work on that shit until it is completely done. Like, you never have to worry about a Capricorn doing what they're supposed to do. But this is going to be hard for you guys, because this is the part where it gets hard, because it's not doing physically, it's having you calm to find centering, to actually do the work on self. And for Capricorns, what I've noticed is that's kind of hard. My dad's a Capricorn and my son is a Capricorn, so, and they are pretty much alike. You guys are good with working, but when it comes to emotions and feeling things, it's kind of like you guys are kind of scared or afraid to feel what you're supposed to feel. And that, you know, like, one time I literally had to have a talk with my son, and I'm like, look, you are allowed to feel what you feel, and you are allowed to express what you feel, you know. And it was like he needed that reassurance to be told that he was allowed to feel something. And that kind of broke my heart too, because, you know, when he was real young, he used to tell me everything and speak however he felt. And his dad is kind of the opposite. His dad is kind of like, he's that men hold everything in and men don't feel. And so it was kind of, it's kind of like, Capricorn, you need to find people in your energy or in your life who let you know it's okay to feel what you are feeling, because your feelings are valid and you are allowed to feel what you feel and speak what you feel. Like, it is not unmanly. It is not anything like that. It does not take away from who you are as a man to feel what you feel. And if you are surrounded by people who put you down for that, that just means you are around the wrong crowd and the people that will not help you in the long run. You still need to be able to speak how you feel when it comes to your emotions. Now, Capricorns, you guys can be true ridiculous assholes, because you guys, a lot of you guys tend to, explain this. A lot of you guys have the personality type to where you are very blunt, especially if it's a joke. And sometimes people don't take you right. So just make sure when you're speaking your truth that you're doing it in an honest and open way, and not one where that's what I'm trying to say, where it could be condescending to somebody else to speak your truth. Because you guys have a hard time with that too. Because it's like, okay, let me give an example. Capricorn will be like, I have no placements of Capricorn though. Let me just say that. Capricorn, I've noticed, will be like, if they feel bad or guilty about something, say if they had a work project that they couldn't get done because of, say, time restraints, and say if this Capricorn was supposed to put this part in the car, well, now they're emotional and someone comes to them and they didn't have time to get it done. Well, someone comes to them and says, well, why didn't you do this? A lot of times when you get into your emotions, Capricorn, because you're hurt, instead of expressing, feeling that you weren't able to accomplish something or to get something done, or you made a mistake or something, you guys tend to turn that to rage or anger and place it on someone else to be like, well, well, I didn't get this done because, oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. We cut off again. Again, as what I was saying, sometimes Capricorns, you guys get into this spot where you guys think that you have to be right or you have to win at all costs. And you forget that it's okay to not be perfect. It's okay to take a loss in anything, because that doesn't mean you aren't good enough. It means a lot of times that there is a reason why that thing went the way that it did. You know, it's kind of like, this is kind of a sad, morbid story, but the story I am seeing in my head, the Spirit's giving me now, is the guy who was running late to work, but he worked at the World Trade Towers the day that it fell, and he was feeling, I'm late to work and I'm failing, but really God had this person stay back even though they would have never have normally been late, because they had a different purpose. So sometimes, Capricorn, you are supposed to fail so that you can go some other place. It doesn't mean that you fail as a human, or you are not good enough, or you are not valid, or whatever. But I'm also hearing, you can't let people disrespect you. You have to be willing to stand up for yourself, but do so as in speaking your truth, not as in placing blame on others. You have to be willing to say, yeah, I fucked up, and then realizing that nobody is perfect, and it's okay if we fuck up. As it all who we are as a person is not defined whether we mess up or not. It defines in how we act after we do mess up. After we mess up, or are we going to put things in the right perspective and take responsibilities for the things that we messed up and say, I'm sorry, and then allow the other person to say, I'm sorry? Or are you mirroring that to somebody else? Are you saying, I was perfect and you were in the wrong, and, expecting them to be perfect, to fit your narrative? I don't know. That I'm just hearing so many different perspectives here for this Capricorn collective. If you fuck up, it's okay. You don't disrespect yourself by saying, I never mess up and I'm perfect. You respect yourself by saying, yeah, I'm not perfect and I mess up, and apologizing and taking responsibilities for the part that you messed up, especially if it's a relationship. If it's a relationship, remember, it takes two people to mess up, not just one. If you've messed up and you're not wanting to take responsibility for it or speak your truth, because my throat again, if you are not taking responsibility for the part that you messed up, maybe that's what Spirit's telling you to look at. Because one, you also have to respect yourself. In respecting yourself, you have to speak what your truth is. 333 on the clock. So yeah, that's what I got for you, Capricorns. I hope this helped. All right, everybody. That's the last sign. I hope this helped. If you like this video, please hit the like, subscribe down below. If not, that's perfectly okay. But either way, stay weird. Bye.